Hey everybody, I'm Andrew Jackson with the AGA. I'm joined here today by two very strong professional players here. We've got Ryan Lee, 1Pro, and Stephanie Yin, 1Pro. Thank you guys both for joining us here this evening and giving me a review. We're going to be looking at a game that you guys chose. You guys picked this one, Shi Yue versus AlphaGo. And I was just asking you, how did you guys decide to pick this one? Like why this game?
Okay, so the first time I picked this one is because I know Shi Yue's style very well, and a lot of people say like Shi Yue is very fighting style. Like 10 games, he killed like 9 dragons.
Right.
Yeah, so that's why I picked. But at that time, I didn't look at the game. But yeah, you look at the game, right?
You'd seen the game, Ryan?
Yes. Yeah, I did look at the game. Well, Shi Yue was definitely among my top list for favorite player.
Yeah, because of his killing a dragon a game style.
Yeah, it's like a sort of a personal reason, but also another reason was because this game was very interesting because we can see how AlphaGo changed.
Really?
Before. Especially when we had the 3 AlphaGo versus AlphaGo, when we had the of course the big Bisedo games with AlphaGo. Yeah. The AlphaGo openings, they were pretty much the same. We saw the Chinese opening, and we saw I think Michael Redman showed one of the openings. Can you see?
Yeah, we've got the board up for sure.
So before, most of the openings were like this, pretty much every game, and Black would play this. And once AlphaGo became the master, now he's been trying a lot of different things, and this is particularly interesting, is because this opening was very popular, way too popular.
Way too popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
nowadays, especially nowadays.
So there's a lot of counter openings. So there's a lot of ways for white to counter this opening, and then afterwards it was a lot less popular. Okay. So we can see like here Master like pretty much revives this opening now.
Awesome.
Since he's Black.
Okay. So you guys are going to give us the lowdown on this game, and this is your opinions. This is your opinions with some of the commentary from Shi Yue himself, or how what are we going to be hearing today? We're going to be hearing your guys' opinions.
Basically,
just us.
Basically your guys' opinions. Awesome, that's great. And of course, since you guys agree on everything, there won't be any points where one of you thinks one thing and one of you thinks something else, right?
Oh,
of course. Yeah. All right, so
you'll see.
There you go.
Okay, so
Shi Yue is white here, right? And
Shi Yue is white.
Okay, so for this opening, this is sort of the standard, and before we saw this a lot with this Joseki in the top right here, and then this Black is thick. He takes the outside influence, and while white is very fast in the opening.
Okay.
And actually, in the end, a lot of players like Black more. Right?
Yeah, like me. I like Black.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
I like Black too, actually.
Yeah.
So you both like Black here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so and this is because Black is actually really efficient, right?
Yeah, I think. Right. And the outside is very has a lot of potential. So white is fast, but it's kind of a weak. The outside, like the group, is not that strong, but Black is very solid. And for me, I like Black better.
Okay. But this was played a lot of time. Maybe 1 year ago, I think it was very, very popular. It was every second game.
Right.
So nowadays, I think people, a lot of people has some different opinion on that Joseki. So what about white?
So so I think you're referring to when white
extended down. Yeah. Okay, so what's gonna happen then? black should just push and cut, push and surround, or then close the outside?
Yeah. So since white, more players like black. So then people start developing. What can I do to avoid this, or is there any alternative move in this situation, right? So
is it because most of people don't like the white, so that's why they invented this move? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay.
So then someone played this.
Okay.
I think it was one of the younger pros.
Pros.
Don't quite remember who. But so the point of this move is to prevent black from making this tiger smell. Well, black can still make the tiger smell,
but it's not gonna be that strong outside.
Yeah. So black can't. Black can't.
The ladder that stone.
Ladder the stone. Yeah.
So since the ladder.
So if black plays like this and white connects back, then locally black is already.
It's already right, because the shape is bad. It's not as good as last variation when black ladder that stone.
Got it. So this looks similar to the game that I just looked at with Jenny the other night, where versus Park Chung-hwan, where AlphaGo crawls on the second line for 7 moves or something like that. It's not quite the same because instead of the pincher at R12. Am I supposed to say pincer? Is that why you're fighting off a laugh there? Is that what's going on? Anyway, the pincer at R12. Instead, white had played the pincer at L17 because black tanuki'd in the lower left-hand corner. So it seems like the R12 stone, but it still seems like it's a very related pattern, right?
So yeah, this generally there was a one time where this variation happened a lot.
Yeah, very popular.
So, and then black would tanuki and approach here and develop on the right.
Is this an improvement for white?
I think so. I think this variation white is better than the last one.
Okay,
which you showed.
Sort of like a balance of giving up thickness for the sente.
Got it.
Right. So in the previous variation, like this one, white is really fast, but in the top right, black is really thick. But in this variation, we can see black is not thick at all, right? There's a push at P16.
Sure.
But black is a sente.
Yeah, but black is sente.
And also there's no ladder breaker for, that ladder, right? So you don't have to spend another move to protect that ladder.
Yeah. So white lost the move at the K4 area.
Right. Previously, that move at K4 is a ladder break, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so back to the game?
Yeah, in this game, AlphaGo chose the same variation. So this was interesting because, we can sort of just ignore this for now, but we can see like he chose this variation still, even obviously knowing that right now white can extend down. Right, so I think that's pretty interesting.
Right. Okay, but Shi Yue blocked.
Yeah, he actually blocked though, and actually, so it reverted to this variation.
Okay. And is the thought that this is that white's ladder breaker in the lower left is now going to be more serious because?
Yeah.
Or how do we read this? What do you make of it?
I don't know. So I think it's pretty much similar. Same. So if white played a ladder break here, is black going to tanuki? Right.
Yeah.
I hope you're not asking me. I hope you're asking Ryan.
So what about that exchange? So which means black will get a sente to protect the territory on the top? Oh, okay, I see. So that's the
Could
purpose.
you show that to I didn't quite follow.
Okay. Okay. Yes, go ahead.
So I think this is a very good supporting argument for how I was saying AlphaGo really changed when it became master. Because before it mostly used moves that we know before, especially like Seki's openings. So now we can see it being a lot more confident. Now it's, for example, the approach move on the lower left. It's approaching now and creating like this whole new opening style.
Yes.
Okay.
So in this game, white played here. So we can't really tell like who's better right now because so we have a Joseki on the top right, and we have it's just like a different.
It's got
variation.
these ladder
So
considerations coming off to the lower left.
Yeah. Now it's black can't really take the K4 area or play moves around F4 or K4. So in this,
and also, Andrew, do you know why white kick here first instead of play a K4?
Directly. He's trying to make black heavy, right? Right.
Right.
Okay. You kick and then you pinch it, and that's kind of like a standard expectation.
Right, because after you play K4 and black will protect the ladder on the right side, and then when white comes back to play a kick move, and black will tenuki.
Got it.
So that's the whole purpose of that.
First. The idea.
Yes.
Because of this ladder breaker being so severe, black can't really play in this triangle.
Any of those moves are going to be hard because white's going to.
Yeah, because if black does this, white can just play any simple
move and make that move bad.
And so black has to play a move around this area, and now white can extend down, making this K4 move a bad
Giving
move.
AlphaGo a taste of its own medicine there with the shoulder hit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then.
So in the game, AlphaGo played this move, and the next move. So yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay, that's great.
So is this Shi Yue? Is this his pro sense? Like, how do you guys read this here? That's a hard question. I'm sorry, it's not really.
Yeah.
Well, again, this game is very different because no one really played opening like close to this before. But so before, we usually see white pinching this move first, right? Because the top right, the Joseki on the top right, black has so much influence there, and it's really easy for black to develop. That's why it's quite urgent.
It's very urgent, yeah.
So that kick in the lower left may actually have been slow? Or is that too hard to say?
I think the mentality here is that if white plays here now, black will fix. And now this approach in the lower left is actually better for black.
I see.
We prevent white to enclose the corner. Right.
Got it.
Because if white extends now, this approach move is still sort of it's like an attacking situation.
Right. Okay.
I see.
So I think that's sort of the mentality there.
Okay, so the kick is still important, but now it's like we're off the map and we have a very different situation here on the top.
And we see Master responds very very calmly, right? He just defends.
And every move AlphaGo played is simple. It's not that very fancy, but after you look at the whole game, you will see every single corner on any side. Black is very efficient, and we're gonna show you later in the game.
Yeah, I wanted to say that too.
Yeah, feel free to go as fast as you want here. I mean, or as slow as you want.
There were a lot of of course all of the pros are very into this thing, right? And I get that a lot of the feedback about AlphaGo is that it sort of doesn't have any it obviously can think by itself, but it reads very very well, but it doesn't really have the things that a player
It doesn't have attachments. It's not like like
when AlphaGo plays a move, it's sort of like it's just there. Like it's not doing anything, but it's like the most efficient move. Like it's just there,
and it just won the game.
So it's not just flexible because it just is sort of just there, right? It's not that it wants territory or it wants influence. It's not being flexible. It's just there. All right.
I think it might be because AlphaGo has a better judgment than other pros. What do you think?
It seems that AlphaGo has better everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, hang on. It hasn't gotten a chance to play you guys yet, so we can't say that. I know that you've got some pretty good 30-second blitz games here, Ryan. And I hear Stephanie's no slouch in that regard either. But she takes her blitz with just one color, and 10-second Rengo, right? I think that's...
Yeah. 6 of us outplayed.
That's right. 6 of you guys played one color team go. 10-second move.
And we actually finished that
I don't
game.
think AlphaGo could do that, frankly.
AlphaGo.
We probably can.
No, probably.
All right. Moving
Okay.
right along. Sorry.
In a 60-game compilation, we had pros with all different styles, all different good sides. Like some pros good at reading, some pros good at endgame maybe, and after we're gonna do Park Young Hoon, right?
Park Young Hoon will be the next game we do, right?
Endgame style. This
Strong
game
endgame
is
style.
this is pretty much like a fighting style.
Yeah. So we have all these different pros who played AlphaGo,
and then we all lost.
The general idea is that they feel like that you can't beat it.
All right. So this is Shi Yue, and so AlphaGo seems to play this. It's not slow, but it's definitely a conservative move, just defending on the 4th line like that. And so is the sense that professionals would like white here? Do you guys like white here, or?
I like black.
Is that just because black is AlphaGo?
No. I like this opening very much. So I will choose black.
Yeah, because the top right.
You too, right? You both choose black because of the top right?
I think black, even though white connects back in this at F13, there's so many cuts. And we can't, it's really hard to say if this J14 exchange really benefits. So I do.
Got it. Okay, so you guys both prefer black still. Got it. Whoa!
This move.
Yeah.
So my take on this move is because before when we saw this one, and then black extends, so it's sort of the same. But in the future, white, there's a lot of cases where white still invades in here. So maybe AlphaGo thinks that if white's going to invade anyway, maybe this Q10 stone it might be better at O10.
So the idea is to move the focus out to the center and the top, because the right side still has that invasion anyway.
Maybe when black enclose that side, this move is better than the move on the start point.
Yeah, and if white invades, then this move would be more severe, right? This would have more influence.
Yeah, that would definitely be a change of the orthodoxy to move it from the start point out.
Yeah, it will help to attack that stone as well.
So this move is pretty energetic.
Okay, so that move is very interesting.
Right, so this invasion here.
Yeah, I actually guessed 3 times I got wrong. This one is very interesting.
Yeah, so this move is definitely not easy to guess. Right?
What would you guys? What were your guesses?
Right, invading here, or maybe taking this.
Right.
Or maybe attachment in the center.
Or
maybe like some reducing move on the left, generally, or this move.
So a reducing move, or maybe a counterattack. Oh, sorry.
So definitely wasn't expecting this, and we can see like this end result is very interesting, right? It's like these exchange moves. After all of this, white gets thickness, but keep in mind that this is a lot later in the game, and thickness is the importance of thickness decreases, right, as the game progresses.
Right.
So I think that's an important thing to remember for a lot of people.
For a lot of people, yeah. Okay.
So thickness, because when you have it early, it influences more things, right?
Right, because you can make a lot of things happen in the mid game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but once we have a lot of stones on the board, then the influence is not going to be that valuable anymore.
So is your argument here that the white stones are not as efficient because they're later in the opening?
I think it's a little over concentrated. But so like when Ryan said earlier, when AlphaGo plays something and you can't just you can't do anything, you have to just respond that. And after that variation finish, and you just realize, okay, I think AlphaGo is already ahead. Right? Like for example, in that variation, can you
Yeah.
show us that honey move over there? It's a very good move.
Oh, right, this honey
Yeah,
move.
this is.
Yeah, so if black fixes now,
Mm-hmm.
then white can get this sente.
Mm-hmm. And then that honey move won't work anymore.
Right. So now white will just tanuki because when black honey, white can atari here.
Mm-hmm. And extending move here is not going to work. Mm-hmm.
So this exchange, white will get in sente.
So kind of prevent black connect underneath.
And in this variation, when black honey here, white can't atari here because black can extend now.
Right.
And now white can't block on this side because black can extend like that. So if white can only defend this side, then black can atari and extend here. Even though the corner is still left untouched, this outside is very, very big.
It's even bigger than the corner. So that honey move is actually very good timing. The perfect timing, I think.
Yeah, so this is almost the only good response for white. And now AlphaGo fixes. And now white has to spend a move here because now connecting is
huge.
It's very big.
It almost starts an all or nothing fight.
Okay.
So I think this game is also a good example. So when we watch AlphaGo's game, sometimes it's really hard to, understand exactly what he's doing. But in the big sense, or in sort of when we teach, as a kid, the things I learned, I really see it happening. Like here, AlphaGo, he uses this thickness on the top right, and he develops these thickness, but he doesn't enclose territory with it.
He used it.
He uses it to turn this thickness into territory elsewhere, or by attacking, which we will see later.
Right. So like what we learned from when we were kids, we never used the influence or the very strong wall to make territory. Use them to attack your opponent's group and gain other benefit from attacking.
Yeah. There's like a saying where you should never enclose territory with thickness.
Right.
So this L14 stone is reinforcing this J14 stone. And of course, white wants black to spend another move in the L16 area to secure this top left group. Right. So again, we can see this attachment. So AlphaGo played in the corner instead, right? We can see this is a shift. AlphaGo is still shifting from this influence and still converting it
to the territory. Right.
Got it.
So
and this corner move, D15 and C17 is a very common
Tsuji, yeah.
For this corner.
So AlphaGo kind of changed his style now. He was using the influence to attack, right? But now he changed to the territory. He focused on the territory.
He's shifting it to cashing in.
Right.
Territory in the corner. Okay.
Now white doesn't really have a really big move. If white blocks, of course, that's a move that should
normally
be normal, right? And if white blocks, then the center is not very big. Right? Black can just sort of throw a move in there,
right?
And can reduce it efficiently enough that.
Right. So it's like one huge wall against another huge wall, and now it's black's turn. And black will get of course get a benefit.
So
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, AlphaGo. It's like he's really. We can see AlphaGo maintaining this balance, right? So first he makes the wall. He takes influence first, and then he converts it into territory. So he really has the two really big and most important things in Go, right? We have maintaining a balance between influence and territory, and the other one is of course efficiency. Right? We can see his stones being very efficient.
Sure, in the upper left corner, his stones seem to be. He's only played what 6 stones up there in the upper left hand corner, 7. And it seems like he's doing a lot more than the same number of white stones, right?
Yeah.
And of course, efficiency is not not letting your stones get killed, right? We can see black has a dead stone at d15 on the upper left, and actually 2 dead stones in the lower left. But black is still more efficient, right? At least it seems so. Intuitive.
So white shifts, instead of blocking on the outside like you've shown, white shifts has to go down, right?
Yeah.
And switch to trying to take territory.
White also needs territory because of course you need territory to win the game.
I've heard that.
But now white has so much thickness.
Especially on the bottom group.
Yeah, and the lower group is very strong. So it's better for white to extend down, right? You don't want to connect to already alive and thick groups.
Got it.
Well, I just feel like black. Master. AlphaGo is leading the whole board.
Is leading Shi Yue around here is sort of.
Yeah, so like at the beginning, black is creating influence in the center, and then white comes to reduce, and then black changed to the territory, and now white is also changed to the territory style. So, yeah.
Yeah, so he's sort of getting pushed around.
Right. It's like sometimes I feel like I have so much power, but I just don't know where to use it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely see it here, right? Because Shi Yue, his style is very, very aggressive, right? He likes fights, and he's very good at it. It's sort of what he's known for. And we in this game, we don't really see it.
Shi Yue got all that power, but he hasn't been able to get his fight to use it.
Yeah.
And instead he's being sort of pushed around by Alpha. Now, this isn't a big deal. Either of you guys could push around Shi Yue, right? I mean, you guys are both that strong, right?
Oh, I don't think so.
No? I mean, it's amazing. If you're telling me that Shi Yue is sort of, calling the tune, and Shi Yue is having to be, to follow him around and be reactive, is there any mistake that Shi Yue has made? Is there any move that is like...
No, that's what's so fascinating about it, because even though he didn't really have a choice, but it's because he didn't really have a choice, right?
Right, he doesn't have any, and I don't think that any movie's bad so far.
Yeah, we can't really point to like one move and say that was bad, and
like the locally everything.
Can't really say, because locally, all of the local variations, they were pretty even results. So we can't really say white is behind or black is ahead, really. But we can see black has the
more efficient stones on the board than white. Like
black is initiating. He has the initiative. He's starting the fights. Well, we can see later that he did start a fight, and now he's just saying, "Let's just take. I'm just going to take territory, and I'm going to give you influence."
So even though locally all of the moves make sense, globally he's somehow been outplayed. Is that a fair assessment here?
Yeah, I like that.
And you guys both agree. You both prefer black here, right? Or is it after the next couple moves, after black just pushes right on through in the center? Or is it right now already? Just having... I mean, this is the next couple moves after.
I prefer black because I think white is very limited to the territory or expanding or influence, but black has a lot of spaces to expand. So black has a lot of potentials on the board.
So we can see the top right. White has this corner, and the left side is pretty much set. It's about maybe 25. And in the bottom side, it's
10 points.
It's not really much like influence anymore, and maybe like we can say at the N3 area maybe, but that's like a neutral place, right? It's like it's just not taken yet for either players. But black has a lot of places where distinctively black can gain territory, like L16. One move here would be quite a bit of territory, and of course the right side.
Exactly.
So black can still grow his territory, whereas white's territory has already been well defined. He hasn't been able to turn it to get the fight that he was looking for with his early thickness, right? So that's why you guys like black, more or less.
I like black. What do you think?
I think it's still hard to say better.
But I don't say black is better. I just say I like black.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's a fine point of distinction. Just because you like it doesn't necessarily mean it's better. It's just you like it. It's your value network working there, right? But we do get our fight, and it's one that AlphaGo starts, right?
Yes, yes, and it's interesting because he starts this fight now after sort of playing quite calm and in a way avoiding the fights. And I think for me, I would play a move in the center now to sort of try to enclose this right side. I would do that. But I think.
But maybe you will lose the chance to attack white.
Yeah.
Because white probably will play some of in the center and protect the territory, and at the same time, the cut won't be very serious anymore.
Would you play on the right side as well, Stephanie?
No. I said when. So if black when black plays the move on the right side, probably black will lose the chance or the time to cut
attack in the middle.
White to attack. Right. Yeah. So that's the good timing to attack, I think.
Okay, so you would try and attack right now as well. There you go, Ryan.
But I'm not sure if I can see that move when I'm playing.
Okay.
Right. Also, this is it's the idea of using thickness and not to make territory, but to get benefit from attacking.
I feel like and I also feel like black is very greedy somehow because black take all of the cash already, and then
he's still
use
attacking.
It. Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't work when I try and do it. That's for sure. Oh man.
Okay, so black attaches out here. And this is pretty much the only move for white. And because both hanes don't really work. Because this hane, black naturally will just extend, and these three stones are cut off.
Right, that K13 stone just comes out to be perfectly placed.
Yeah, and now if white pushes out, we can see like this group is isolated in the middle, and the left side, the white's territory on the left side is getting reduced very effectively. So the white plays here, carries.
And you guys had some discussion about this one right before we cut off. This connection here, it looks crazy, but apparently there was a double Atari that Ryan didn't see or something. I'm not entirely sure how that worked. No.
Stephanie was very kind to point
out the double
Atari. Move here because it seems very weird that white is connecting for no apparent reason inside.
And you say it's because there's a hane in the corner, to which I have to say, what's the hane in the corner?
And also it's protecting the double Atari on the top, in the center. Yep. Double Atari over here. Atari.
That wouldn't be a ko anybody wants to fight.
No, that's huge.
And I think you're talking about this ko, right?
And you guys are both immediately like, no, that's crazy. We can't fight that ko. And that's just because it seems like it's one where white risks everything and black has like no risk at all.
Is there a name for that kind of ko?
I think so, but I forget the English name.
Flower ko. Right?
I know there's a name,
but sorry, what was that?
Like it's a picnic for one person?
Picnic ko. Oh, that's interesting. Anyway, so this move fixes both. It fixes the double Atari and also
and it threatens
threatens the hane at D18. So if black cannot cut now because these stones don't have enough liberties.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so what happens next? So black gets in the center now while white pushes through on the upper side. So should I my first intuition would be to I threatened something and you didn't respond. Maybe I should play here.
Right, but it's not working on this move because black didn't connect on the bottom, right?
Oh,
and it's just small. The corner is it's smaller than on the side.
Yeah, so the center is so big now that if white spends another move in the corner or in maybe here, then black can just give it up and just fix in the center.
Right, it's too big, and so all of a sudden on the center is become
it's all
taxed.
And that left side territory. I mean, white traded his 25 points on the left side for 25 points in the corner. But he didn't actually get any farther ahead there, right?
Yeah, exactly. And if white somehow manages to escape here, black can just connect back like this.
Right, and also the center is kind of it's broken by black, and the left side territory is reduced.
White's shape up there doesn't look that great. That's for sure in the corner.
Yeah, and it didn't even capture the stone. He connected himself.
Right. When I'm teaching my student, I will call this dumpling shape. Do you get this dumpling shape?
Also, right?
Oh, like here's the dumpling.
Yes. Dumpling shape.
Sounds very appetizing.
Yum yum yum. They're the best type to eat if you can capture them. You know? All right. So Shi Yue obviously doesn't have time to take the corner. He's plays the Hana here up top, which I guess is threatening to connect those stones in the middle.
Yeah, and it forces black to play a move in the corner now.
Right.
Because if black responds to this, now white captures. Now it's a lot different.
Right. Because those three stones can never connect it anymore.
Yeah. So now if black gets the center, it's
smaller.
Yeah, this white gets a whole side now. Right?
Sure.
Like a double center. Like at least 20, 30 points. This is like double center.
Yeah, so I think so she's talking about how this extending down move, it's sort of double centering.
Right. So that's why white takes it. What happens next? So
now he fixes the corner and Atari's back.
Right.
And then connect.
So I wanted to make like a little bit of comment here. So actually before this move. So what happened here? So black started a fight, and we can definitely see like black losing, right?
Black didn't get
not losing out, but like not losing, but like he lost out on the top, right? Black had before we said that if black played a move at L16, that whole upper side was territory.
No, maybe I don't like black anymore because all of the territory is gone.
So this was locally not good for black, is what you guys are saying.
Not like we can't really see a clear
benefit.
Yeah, yeah. So, it's we can't really see.
So despite that there was no clear benefit, do you think white caught up? Like, is your sense then that this is still a close game, or?
I feel like that might be like a false intuition.
So like you can't even trust anything here, huh?
Yeah, because that wasn't really based on judgment. That was sort of just saying, oh, maybe so black had something, he lost it, and
he didn't get
maybe that was bad. So I think.
But actually, I think so black lost something, but at the same time, white lost something too. On the left side, all of the influence is gone, and the territory.
And that 25 points on the left side hasn't actually. It's smaller than 25 now, right? For sure.
Yes, and it's pretty much gone because right now, white probably won't spend and move here, right? So white can still enclose his territory, but so white can spend and move here. But there are bigger places on the board. So if it's not big enough for white to play here now, and if white does something else, then jumping down for black is pretty much sente.
Right, because those 4 stones on the bottom is.
He's going to cut off those 4 stones on the 8th row there. Man.
But when white is enclosing that side, it's also helping black to get stronger, right?
So even though AlphaGo starts a fight and it seems like a swing and a miss, actually it seems like the positional judgment hasn't changed that much, right? Like white lost his territory, black's center remains the same. We weren't really counting any points for black in the center anyway, in the upper side, the upper center, I should say. So, oh man.
This is one of the things that only master can really judge, right? If I was looking at this and I saw a variation similar to this, I definitely wouldn't have the courage to attach out.
Well,
But I think the one important aspect that I neglected was the center. So before white had let me just go back.
Sure,
first.
feel
So,
free. Uses all the triangles and all that stuff for sure.
so you can get the look. So before white had a lot of thickness. White was really thick. So there's actually quite a bit of potential here. And in the end result that we got, black pretty much took control.
There's no potential for white in the center anymore.
Yeah,
right.
none.
Yeah,
right.
And also, it seems like black get something in the center. So a little when black enclosed that side.
So when you say
Right.
you wouldn't have the courage to do this, is that the lesson that you take from AlphaGo, that you need to like find the courage to play this way, or is it like how?
Maybe not so much as a lesson, but I would definitely see this as sort of like AlphaGo telling us what we lack.
So AlphaGo. So you're saying AlphaGo knows us.
This-
knows
No,
ourselves.
I'm saying we could. I can infer from this that I lack this type of judgment. That this center control, right? The exchange for the exchanging the upper territory for the control in the center. It simplifies the game, and the value of the center. That's one of the most difficult things to judge in this game.
So do you think you can acquire that knowledge? I mean, I'm asking you the tough questions here, but I think it's an interesting question because we're learning from these AlphaGo games, right? We're trying to find something that we can personally take away. And if you say, oh, wow, I wouldn't have come to this conclusion, how is it that we can learn to see differently, from AlphaGo, right?
That is very hard to say. I mean, one of the downsides about AI being strong and is that it can't really just teach us, right? It can only show us what the best move is, but
so we have to analyze ourselves.
Yeah, it's definitely not a teacher.
Right.
So if there's any variations that can show these moves, that will be very helpful.
Got it.
But
okay, all right, cool. So what happens next? Does Shi Yue get back
Right. So
in?
now white doesn't have the center control anymore, so white has to invade.
Well, has to invade. Otherwise, it doesn't have enough territory.
Right. So white invades on the top. This is a common way to invade, and to get the top side for the 3-4 enclosure. We see this shape a lot in games.
Right.
Okay. So space extension.
And normally, this is another thing about AlphaGo being a computer, is that usually when we get invaded, nobody's happy, right?
Yeah.
It's like I had this moil, right? It
was mine.
looked really.
It was mine. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And computer doesn't have emotion.
Yes, and pros do see this too, right? Like this big thing disappearing. No matter how good your control, your judgment is, you still see you can still feel the emotions.
And I'll tell you, that starts really early. Like my kid is 9 months old, and already he's starting to if you take his spoon away, he's upset, And it's like that starts at a really early age. That's really baked in here. I don't know. So yeah. So AlphaGo isn't concerned about losing his territory, and is that because it's still good, or why doesn't that change its evaluation? Is it that it?
Since we're on the topic of judgment, I think I can add that this is another judgment type question because again we saw that AlphaGo he had lots of chances, right? But he didn't fix or try to enclose this. So I think that's another judgment thing where it's actually, even though white can invade here, it's
not that big.
Yeah, it's actually we can see maybe 30 points taken away. But it's it's Gote for white, so white has to spend a move. And also black, even though black lost 30 points, he can still get benefit from attacking.
From attacking this group on the right, because it's not not solid
attacking
yet.
Right. Or attacking it later, or having the potential to attack it.
Sure. Is that what happens here?
Nope, actually, he actually just jumped.
Oh, we did talk about this being Sente, though, right?
What are we talking about?
Yes, yeah.
The jumping move here is really big. Those 4 stones are getting weaker.
Yeah.
and also a lot of territory.
And we see white tanuki here, but the value of this D12 move is actually very big because now black has sente moves all around this area.
And they're sente because they're gonna kill those 4 stones.
Right. So if white doesn't respond, then black
can cut those 4 stones. Yeah.
Ouch.
Pretty dead already. Okay.
Right. So now black goes back to
Attack
make white live in wise.
Okay. And then I think white has to live now. Right? Okay.
So these variations.
The exchange move here is really interesting. I mean M4. Black played M4 first, and then played a knight's move. So I'm actually thinking if white blocks, is it black going to pull it back, or?
I think black is looking at a move around here because the 4 stones are.
Oh, he's
in danger,
He's looking He's looking for some sentes and then cut, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe black will play a move here, maybe. And
I think probably you're going to clap here and then make some sente on the top and then cut the 4 stones on the left.
Okay. Okay. So you're looking at this.
Right.
So it's sort of like a probing move. This move. And when white extends on the outside, black took the center because of this L4 follow-up.
Okay.
So white lives and black gains this center benefit. And now after this exchange, white has to connect back. That was another forcing.
Because now those 4 stones will die if black jumps down there. So that move at J4 actually is aiming at those 4 triangled stones. I see.
Yeah. So all of these moves on the lower side was aiming at that actually. So these were from this. So these are actually the value of this D12. So it all falls back.
Got it. It all comes back to that D12.
When AlphaGo is playing something, it's not that direct. He's doing something somewhere else, but he's actually aiming to do something else. Okay.
So he can really see all of these hidden treasures on the board. That for us as humans, it's really hard to judge.
Right. We really have to look at it a long time to see all the AGA in all of the different places.
Right.
Okay.
So that might be something that we lack. We can improve on.
It's all about judgment, I think.
Huh. Well, they say that judgment comes from experience, right?
Yeah. So I always recommend people do the judgment more often during the games. I think for pros we do a 15 move, every 20-30 moves when we do the
to try and do the positional judgment.
Right, because we have to be very clear to see what's going on in the game. Because it will change the way we're going to play.
Sure. But AlphaGo does this even more often than that?
I think so. Because
well, I guess it doesn't every move. Right?
It's easier for him to do it.
It does appear so from the move.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you want to talk about next? So is the best yet to come, or have we sort of covered the parts of this game that you wanted to get through? Or?
I think we've covered most of it. So after this, there's not. It was mostly just black forcing white to live everywhere and ending and doing some ending.
Wow.
Really.
Right.
So he forces white to live on the bottom. He forces white to live on the bottom left, and then he's almost effortlessly built a bunch of territory in the middle, right?
Yeah. And that was pretty much it. That was
all she wrote.
Yeah.
Right.
So do we feel like Shi Yue? How do you think Shi Yue felt after this game? Is this frustrating? Is this it seems like it was almost like an effortless sort of a jujitsu thing where he defeats him with his own.
I can sort of see him as me as an amateur when I played like even against a pro for the first time. And at the end, like I'm just like sort of sitting there, took my stones off the board, and sort of just be like, "What happened?
What happened?
Like, what
happened?
Like, yeah, exactly.
Maybe
So,
he feels the same way. I don't know.
I guess every time when any pro started a game with AlphaGo, they had a lot of power to use in the game, but actually they can't use that power. There's no place for them to use.
It just sort of washes over, and it doesn't get a purchase on anything.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
All right.
Okay.
Cool. Any more comments, or what do you think?
I think we pretty much covered everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any questions?
Uh,
How does it turn out? Does Shi Yue resign, or does it go all the way to counting?
I think Shi resigns.
He resigns after some. I think these are all 30-second games.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. So he's been. We still see a lot of more in-game moves, but he does resign here.
Okay. All right. I think that's the question for me. Thank you guys so much for this. I really appreciate it. We're going to do another game coming up soon. So these are all going to be published, on the schedule taking place. So thank you guys very much for sharing your thoughts. Really appreciate it. And looking forward to doing another one. Thanks, guys.